This is great. I love a delusional woman too. I do. All right, 40-42. This is great. And then we're going to get to two shorts that are amazing. Okay, 40-42.
Or, well, soon in the 2000s, but you know what I mean. But, like, this is like an era where I don't have to come home and cook every night. We can afford, if I'm independent, you independent, we can afford a nanny. We can afford a chef to come meal prep for us, because I just eat meal preps anyway. So we can afford somebody to do our meal preps. Like, we can afford this lifestyle to where it's not taking away, So now that I'm independent, I'm working the same hours you working, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can afford to do that together. And we can still afford, now that we're both independent making money, it's not all on you. So now we're going on vacations. So where are the arguments coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's life right now? Like, to me, it sounds amazing.
Okay, so like this is, this is delusional. How much money you making, honey? How much money exactly are you two bringing in? A nanny, a chef? I've made some good money in television. I never had a private chef. I'll tell you that. That's next level. So this is the delusion now. Now she's taken this idea of two working people, successful working people, to that top 1% with the nanny, the chef, the housekeeper, basically you've got a whole staff going on. And the problem with this is that now she's sending that message out to people and being like, oh yeah, you can, that's totally possible. When in reality, what it often looks like when you have two working parents is that you have two working parents and you have a kid that's in daycare. Right? You don't have a chef. You have one of those working parents that has to come home and cook on top of their full work day. And that is the realistic structure there. Also, let me say, there's something very unsavory to me about what she described too, though. This idea of just like having kids but not raising kids always drives me nuts. She created a structure where she is a career woman in her mind and he is a career man. And there's a chef and there's a nanny and everything's just taken care of and you're taking good vacation. Isn't there something lost in that structure though? I mean, maybe for the top 1%, there's not, because maybe that mom can work but have a flexible job and come home and split the time with the kids. But think about what she's describing. Something was just lost for me in her description that felt like the kids were something to just be managed and not to be raised. And there's something really beautiful to me, based on the decisions I've made in my life, certainly, about parents who are primarily raising their children. I'm not saying you can't have help. I'm not saying you can't have grandma, grandpa. I'm not saying you can't even have a nanny. But the way she described it just kind of sanitized the whole experience, like it was all a money-making venture. And everyone was just playing their role in that money-making venture, including that child. And it's not, that, by the way, is not going to appeal to some men. First of all, it's not going to be a realistic attainment because it's a nanny is like you need like a whole salary just for the nanny. Then you need a whole salary just for the chef. And then you got to pay all your bills. I mean, so it's not a realistic attainment for a lot of people, but also I think there's going to be a segment that it just doesn't appeal to. They're going to say, I don't want that. I don't know this other person that's going to raise the kid full time. I don't know if I want that structure, even if I could afford that structure. So just think about what you're saying again and what gets lost by virtue of having these two high-powered, financially focused individuals. Something will fall between the cracks. Unless you are in a very unique circumstance, again, where you have, say, grandma lives next door and she's over a lot and it's family focused, or you have a lot of job flexibility, or the guy has a lot of job flexibility. But take those gray areas out for a minute and just think about her scenario. Unrealistic and maybe not appealing to a lot of people who want the preservation of some of those traditional values. If you want to watch the full episode, you're going to click right here. And if you want to ask me a question one-on-one, you want to do a one-on-one FaceTime with a group of your friends, whatever you want, you need to download Connect right now. Click right here and let's get talking.